All right, today we got a premier draft for Brothers War. I haven't played a draft in a while, about a week or so, and then I played last night at the card store, Friday Night Magic, and it went horribly. For the first time in what feels like forever, I went 0-3, winning only one game in 3 matches. So now I just have the craving to redeem myself. And I think this is a good starting pack to do it. Uh, I think that a rare is incredibly strong. It gives all artifacts and colorless spells flash. And whenever you cast a spell, if the amount of mana spent to cast that spell is greater than Liberator Urza's Battle Thopter's power, put a 1/1 counter on the Liberator. So that's really, really good. Um, it's definitely what I'm going to take, but just to point out the other good stuff in the pack, the Opportunist is very strong if you're playing green. The Blast Runner is an amazing 1-drop for the Sacrifice deck. And the Power Stone Prodigy is really strong for the blue-black control. And the Kalios Rock is really strong for like a blue prowess deck, or any kind of blue deck actually wants to play this card. But, oh yeah, of course, also the Power Stone Rock, should never forget that card. But it doesn't matter how many good cards were in that pack because our rare is better than all of them. So it does incentivize us to want to play artifacts and colorless spells. Um, Gaia's Courser is a really good, strong card. It's almost a bomb. We could totally play some sort of green artifacts. When it attacks, if there are 3 or more creature cards in your graveyard, draw a card. And it's a 4/5. Yeah, that's the best card in my opinion. Otherwise, the Cavalry's good. But I'm going to take the Courser here, just since it's the best card and we're colorless still. Urza's Silex. It's a board wipe that you could do as early as turn 4, but I don't think it's very good and limited overall. Hmm. Sword of the Meek also not very good. Not very much we want in this pack at all. I could just take a good card. I think I'm gonna just take Evolving Wilds, honestly. Since there's nothing on theme for either green or good artifacts. These cards like this are way too slow, and Tower Worker is just not very good at all. So we'll take our time. We'll pick up a land and stay open. There's a great artifact. Plus, its secondary color is in black, which jives with this. We could play some sort of green-black artifacts, perhaps. If there are 3 or more creature cards in your graveyard, draw a card. So we want to play creatures, and we want to play maybe a little bit of self-mill. I like that. The Bauble. That's really good. Giant's Growth. Goliath. A lot of stuff we want here. Um... Alright. What do we want the most? Darn, 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 darn. I think we'll take the Bauble. Instant speed mill. It's not great. All right, we'll take some top end here. Get a big old tree folk. Again, milling 5 cards seems kind of slow. Could kind of put us on theme if we're playing a lot of creatures. I think I'll grab this great big artifact creature. It's kind of a bomb. We got to get some Power Stone creation going. Well of Lost Dreams. I don't think I have any life gain. That's not good. We'll grab the Recluse. And wow, both of these cards still in this pack. Wow. Red-black wide open. Makes me wish I went that direction. Nothing we want to play in here. We'll just grab the Springleaf Drum. Help us ramp a little bit. Fix our colors, perhaps. Again, really nothing we want to play in here. We'll grab the Infantry. I think it's the best creature in the pack. What are we doing? Feels like we have a few good cards, but our first pick has not done us very well. We need more artifact creatures to make this worth it. It's if the mana you spent to cast it is greater than its power, it gets a counter. So we need some expensive artifact spells just in general. It doesn't have to be creatures. Yeah, again, signals that red-black is wide open. Killzone Acrobat is good. Okay. There was a strong bull in that pack too. Maybe I should have grabbed that instead. We want to get some Power Stone generation. That would be really good for us. We want to get the Opportunist that I pointed out in our pack 1. The green creature that makes a Power Stone. Sure, there's lots more. Yeah, look at this. Pick 13, an Infiltrator. One of the best cards for the red-black deck. Honestly, maybe it's not a bad idea to just start grabbing all good black-red cards I see and completely abandoning the beginning. Look at this Gopher Throat. That's the best card of the pack for sure. There's also a Power Stone Fracture, which we opened last pack, pack 1, pick 1 as well. We opened it, and it wheeled all the way to us on pick 9. But we are playing black anyways, or we can be. We definitely are now that we have Gopher Throat. As for good artifacts, there's none in the pack. Brotherhood's End is good, but Gopher Throat is the pick here. And another Gopher Throat, wow. Cards of note in the pack. Scrapwork Cohort is really strong. The 3/1 that makes a 1/1, and then it unearths again. That created a second 1/1. And then this Prodigy is good, Disfigure is good, and the Wellspring is also good. But we really just got eyes for premium removal right now. Gopher Throat is just too good to pass up on. Oh man, though we really want some 4-mana artifact creatures. And Cohort is like the best one. But we need I mean, you don't ever want to pass premium removal spells. Like, they're just too good. Alright, here we have no artifacts in the pack. Best black card is Power Stone Fracture. The best green card is probably the Recluse. Perhaps this Animist. Though, I don't think Animist is super good for us. I think I'll grab this Power Stone Fracture. Still looking for the same things. We want some good black sacrifice fodder, a Clay Revenant, or yeah, premium black removal, of course. Always trying to get some of that. Overwhelming Remorse, instant speed exile that cost 1 less for graveyard stuff. Like, that's just, it's too good in our deck to pass up on. Bahana Shaman, darn. Really good pick too for our deck. We're torn here. We want to take this because you could go ahead and search for the cursor or anything that you really need to get back in the game. Oh man, I still think that Overwhelming Remorse premium removal is the way to go. You don't want to pass removal at all. I say that and now I get my 3rd Gopher Throat. This is nuts. This is nuts. I don't think I get punished for drafting too much Gopher Throat unless the opponent is like slamming big artifact creature after big artifact creature and I have 2 Gopher Throats in hand. Then I just feel dumb. And that definitely could happen in this set. Like, this is a set where Gopher Throat could be, you know, missing its targets. On account of having 3 premium removal, I'll take the premium fetch card. Because there's a couple good targets I could fetch for. This 8 mana bomb, this 6 mana big guy, the Courser to draw cards. I got 3 premium removal I could search for. It could just be the answer that I need to a lot of different situations. Another tough pick here. Not like amazingly good picks for each other, but we want the Skull Flare and we want the Clay Revenant. The Anvil is also good, especially when we exile it with like when it comes in, we imprint a card under it. And if we imprint a artifact creature, then both artifacts and creatures cost 2 less, which is really, really strong. I think, however, the thing we're missing the most is some sack fodder. And we need at least 1 Clay Revenant. So unfortunately, we're passing up on the Skull Flare, who fits really well in our deck. And next up here, Ornithopter, kind of decent. We'll grab the Argonian Sprite. Yeah, we need some small bodies. Gaia's Gift, that's really good. We don't have a lot of creatures right now though. But there's no good creatures in the pack, so Gaia's Gift is a premium combat trick. And the Power Stone Fracture did wheel all the way to us. We open this one again. So clear signs that black sacrifice is open. Same with, you know, the Rakdos. Like, these 2 cards are so good in that deck. Clearly wide open. What do I have for good red cards? Nothing. Okay. Perimeter Patrol. What we need more than anything right now is artifact creatures. We need some expensive, not super expensive, like 4 or 5 mana artifact creatures. I don't like this one. It's a 2/4, but we'll put it in the sideboard since it's on theme with what we need. We got to get the pieces to our puzzle here. And we've assembled something pretty decent. 2 Power Stone Fractures. Makes me want to play a second Clay Revenant. I always have one. They're a bit bad in multiples, but they're also like horrible if you don't have one when you need one. So playing 2 is not horrible. Last pick Trench Stalker, it's interesting. Caged Sun. Yeah, it's really good for any kind of monocolor deck. There's no good artifact creatures for us anyways. Our pick is clear here. I'm just making sure, looking around well. Taking my time. But another guy has Courser. That's a 4/5 and it draws us cards. We do need more creatures in general though. We have some in the sideboard. We could do some switching around. Post to deck building. We'll bring some more creatures in and grab that Courser. Courser. Alright, what's next here? I don't think we need to splash any blue. Draft with no blue cards. So Underground River is not very desirable. This is an artifact creature, but it's not a great one. Though it's decent. Though it certainly is decent. The only other things that we want from the pack are the Thraxodemon. And that's really it. Like, there's nothing good in here, so Harvester will be the pick. Artifact spells you cost 1 less. Power is 3 and its mana is 3. Okay, this is a great card. Not in our colors. I think it's got to be the Foundry Inspector. We're going to commit to our artifact theme now. It's an artifact and it's a creature. It's everything we're missing. Power Stone Fracture. I'd play a third one if I had a second Clay Revenant. Is there anything else we want from the pack? Honestly, not really. Like, Giant Growth is a good combat trick, but we have Gaia's Gift, which I think is considerably better. And so, sure. We have so much darn removal. I don't think we're going to play 4 Power Stone Fractures. It's just putting us at risk for making too many big mistakes. There's nothing I want in the pack otherwise. Maybe I'll grab this Killzone Acrobat. We'll do some major sideboarding and kind of get a sacrifice theme going. Because I have 2 of these Gixian Infiltrators. Don't like that. Perimeter Patrol is decent. Usually don't love this card. In fact, usually hate this card. But I'll throw it in the sideboard since it's artifact creature that costs 4, which is kind of on theme. Our second Clay Revenant. We're so glad. Same thing as last time. Last time we saw Gixian Skullflare in a pack that was not too, like, didn't have like such a clear choice. There was also a Clay Revenant. And now that we have 3 Power Stone Fractures, we really need the second one. It's not even a choice. There's nothing I want to play in this pack, so I will rare draft, put this into my collection. Thraxodemon or Ornithopter. We'll just put a Thraxodemon in the sideboard. It's on theme for the sacrifice. We're playing not too condensed. Like, we're kind of like, we're playing a lot of themes here instead of like going deep into one thing, which is a lot stronger typically. Like, if everything you do synergizes with one archetype, either sacrifice or self-mill or prowess or whatever, your decks end up being stronger. But I just didn't see enough artifact stuff early to really go deep into the artifact archetype. And so I ended up grabbing like just the best cards in the pack, which were sacrifice themed. And so now we ended up with like a mix of sacrifice and pardon me, the artifact theme. So it's okay. I'm sure it's not too bad for us. We just have to make sure we're playing enough creatures, because we have a lot of things that benefit from having creatures in the graveyard. So if you don't have enough creatures, that's bad. We'll get rid of the Springleaf Drum because we're playing 2 colors. We definitely want these infiltrators because we have... I almost want to bring in all these Killzone Acrobats and just be, committed to the sacrifice theme here. I got 4 of them. It's kind of crazy. Move on, Evolving Wilds. It's a sacrifice thing. And we'll just bring all these in. Oops, not you. Now. Now. We want to cut a couple non-creatures and a couple creatures. Cut the Bauble, since... I mean, does Bauble sacrifice itself? It does, doesn't it? Yeah, it does. It's kind of synergy. I'm glad I'm not timed right now. Got all the time in the world. Just think about it, man. Okay, I think the Sprite fits with nothing. It's good late game. It's like a good card, but since it doesn't synergize with anything, we'll cut it. Diabolic Intent is kind of considering to be cut, though that card can really save you. It just has such flexibility to be able to search for anything. I do have 2 Clay Revenants to sack to it. I think I'll cut the Recluse. And then I got 5 more cuts. I don't think I need to play 4 of those. If I go down to 2, it's still good. 3 more cuts. I play 1 or 2 Power Stone Fractures. I still have 5 premium removal, and that's probably enough. Although we don't like cutting that because it does sack a thing. We have these 2 infiltrators that care about sacking things. Well, it's not that much upside having 2 creatures that care about sacking things. That's really all we have, right? If all of our upside is in 2 drops. Though they're really good 2 drops. Like the fact that they're 2 drops I could get out of hand makes them pretty valuable. I think we'll cut this 6-mana Druid. Or should we cut this 8-mana guy since we have no Power Stones to ramp for him? We'll cut the 8-mana guy. We'll keep the 6-mana guy in as our top end and to be able to search for a thing. Plus, I like the fact that when he comes in, he gives something +X right away. He affects the board state the turn he comes in. It's really important. Now, one last and final cut. Maybe we have enough removal we don't need Gaia's Gift. We have so much removal that Combat Trick isn't where we need to be. But we have 2 Coursers, which are premium targets to blow out opponent when he goes to remove it. Because Could play 16 land, but I think 17 land is where we want to be with these two coursers. We got enough of a high end that 16 land is bad. All right. What's the switch here? Skull Flare. This is another one of those nice threats that can totally grow into something way bigger than a 3-drop should be. I'm struggling. Wow. What a real struggle. Okay, I'm gonna just try it like this. Heck. As much as I love Gaia's Gift and I think it's an amazing card, I'm just having too much of a hard time deciding. I think maybe we're gonna see how the deck plays. We're gonna try it one game like this, and then depending on how it goes, we might just take out all the artifact stuff and commit to sacrifice, because we have enough sacrifice cards to really go that direction with it. You know, if we could even drop our pack one, pick one in the Liberator, even though it's what we really wanted to do and it's a strong card. We don't have the support for it. And we just don't have the support, right? Okay. Infiltrator pass. Rakdos Sacrifice with an amazing 1-drop. Good start for the opponent. Not gonna lose the Infiltrator, so we'll just have him bounce like that. And we'll just slow play. We'll play out our creature, and we'll wait. Our board's matching up well against opponent. He doesn't have anything he doesn't have any good attacks the way it is. Even now, he has no good attacks. That matters a bit. Like, he gets to get rid of our getting rid of our graveyard is good for him, since we do have a decent amount of graveyard synergies. Although he's just... I'm happy to make that trade as well, of course. A Clay Revenant that I'm going to get back for... yes, of course. Should have got that back last turn and played it right away. He has Evolving Wilds there. But I think it's also fine. I mean, if I trade my Acrobat for the Blast Runner, no biggie. The Blast Runner is going to be a menace, strong creature for a while, and it's his last creature on the board. He had another one in hand. That's okay. Well, that's not a creature we want to sack. We don't really want to block with it either. But we can. I'll block, I'll offer the trade. Hopefully he does some sort of combat trick, Whirling Strike, or I don't know, anything else like that. And in response, I could go for Throat It, blow him out. Trench Stalker. That is a much better target for Go for Throat. Well, that sucks. Bad draws. I mean, good cards, but, you know, 5 drops with 4 mana is not good. Pretty unlikely to happen, considering we're playing very few high-end cards. We have 3 of them that are 5 mana or more. Well, that's a decent draw. We'll just get rid of this guy. Not only because he's bigger, but his recursion is permanent, whereas Scrapwork recurs just once. really need a land. Opponent did good here. The fact that he exiled 2 creatures and it's keeping us from having our 3 creatures in graveyard. But we hit it now. So long as he doesn't have a removal, we're doing good. I'm not gonna block. Well, I don't mind taking 4 damage. There's a chance he has a burn spell or something, but even if he doesn't, and he just dies, he still gets to recur the butt. Could filter a land from his hand. Anything. We've drawn our first card from the Courser. Infiltrator, Inspector. And next turn, we'll search for something nice. I'll sack the Infiltrator if I have to. Not worried about 2 damage. Also don't want opponent to get to cast it for free. Okay, so we're gonna attack with all. Decent, decent. Went from 18 to 9, and he's on 9. Play the Wart Rager, and I'm gonna sacrifice the Foundry Inspector, since the Infiltrator will grow, and potentially grow more. And we're gonna get nothing with base haste, but we do have 6 mana to slam this guy. That's good. We're our biggest creature. Short of a sibling rivalry and a pump spell, mechanized warfare, or something really strong, I don't think opponent can win. Alright. Good, 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 good. Happy to see that. Good start. I was a bit nervous about the deck. I know I've been rambling about it for the last half hour, but it seemed to perform well. We were doing our graveyard stuff really well. Not too much artifact stuff, but we did get to cast a Phyrexian Rager for 1 mana less, which was super relevant because we used all 6 mana efficiently that turn. So yeah, multiple archetypes in the same deck. Works out sometimes. Sometimes it doesn't. We'll see. I did the thing once, but you know what they say. Once could be luck, twice could be luck. No green in this hand, but since I have all black cards and good synergies with sacrifice, I'll keep. Turn 1 Clay Revenant, turn 2 Infiltrator, turn 3 Skull Flare. Gotta love curving out and limited. Turn 1, 2, and 3. And I think Ashman's Harvester is a much better play than Infiltrator. It was a good draw. Since I don't have anything I want to sack this turn anyways. We're going to offer the trade. The opponent takes it, that's good. We get to save our Power Stone Fracture for something better. Play out the Skull Flare. The next turn we could double spell Infiltrator and then Power Stone Fracture. Killing a thing, growing the Infiltrator the turn it comes in. Beautiful target. So land, Infiltrator, Power Stone Fracture as an additional cost, sacrifice the Clay Revenant. Get in for 2. And a tower worker, okay. So, we're gonna lose our graveyard. We care about our graveyard because of the skull flare, but I think it's better to be efficient here and get in for damage. Went down to 10, and we have 3 mana to bring back Clay Revenant to our hand, or potentially Gopher Throat something, though there's no rush to do that. I say that, but if opponent plays something juicy enough, there's always a rush. Okay, so looks like we're playing mono black. Where's all our green? Pretty crazy. 7 green lands plus a Evolving Wilds. Alright, so that's good for us because he double blocks here. And then we go for Throat the Paratrooper. And we just blow him out. Potentially. Alright, that's fine. Whoops. I should have killed the tower worker, I think. Six swamps. Weird, though, weird. I suppose it could happen. Hey, buddy. Okay. I'm gonna look at the top card of opponent's library. The plains. Good to know. And we get to draw. And it was a good draw. Overwhelming Remorse. Get to get rid of that 3/3. I'll just do that now. Maybe not actually. There's no rush. Our board state is stable. We drew a beautiful thing. Diabolic Intent. Get rid of that. It seems bad, but the fact that I have no green makes all these cards not pickable. My best cards. So it has to be something black, right? So Power Stone Fracture is decent since it's cheap, but Scrapwork Rager is maybe even better. So I could cast it right now. Seems a little silly to tutor for a Rager, but I still think it's good. Eh, there's the green. Nice. So we're gonna attack with the Rager. We want him to die, because we want to get 3 creatures in our graveyard. Very good. No tricks, opponent. That will end turn. Ah, 2/1. Not a good target to kill. So we'll kill the Disciple now. And we'll get a free counter on the Skull Flare. and then we'll attack. We slow rolled opponent a bit here. We spent some turns not using our mana, like not returning Clay Remnant to our hand last turn. But it was really important to get the counter, because without the counter they double block and only kill one. So I think it was the right play. Now I'll get my Rager back. I should have done that pre-combat, actually. A bit of a mistake by me. Oh well. Oh well. A little misplay. Not thinking. I'm just talking, but none of it makes any sense. Because even if I play the Scrap Work Rager pre-combat and I attack with it because it's got haste, the Tower Worker just blocks it and then they bounce. So Infiltrator. Get rid of the guy that matches up well. Counter target non-creature spell, or I don't know. Nothing. We curved out well, but I don't think we did anything particularly well here. I think opponent just didn't draw his cards very well. Got unlucky or something. We did recur a good amount of Clay Revenant. Well, it's a little awkward. Our Diabolic Tutor was a little bit weird too. Oh my god. Alright. We could get around that. We still have one Power Stone Fracture in the deck. That will get around that. Plus Clay Revenant to chump block it a whole bunch. Also 2 Killzone Acrobats to fly over. Opponent's on 4. So we just gotta draw into our stuff. We definitely have stuff. Power Stone Fracture off the top, come on! No. Hey, this is cool, Clay Revenant costs 0 now. Okay. I think I'll have to take 7 this time. There's a Killzone Acrobat. We have a clock. We could win. Come on, opponent. What are you thinking about? I think it's Power Plant Worker holding priority without him knowing. Thundering Titan. Nice bomb. 8 mana though. What he got there? Got there with 1 Power Stone. If he pumps the Power Plant Worker, then I take 6. I'm on 5. I'll have to block it next turn anyways. So I may as well block it now. Well then. I won't pretend to understand what the logic behind that was. and attacking with only one. But I will be grateful. Opponent should be pressuring me, attacking with the two big guys. Oh, is that game? Oh wait, two creatures in... Yeah, it's game. So, we play the Pallbearer. Give the Acrobat +2/+2. Good game. And then when the Acrobat attacks, sacks the Clay Revenant to get flying. We did get around Sundering Titan and win, despite it being a strong creature. But I still feel like opponent's deck really did underperform, so I'm not too convinced that our deck is good. Deck is doing good though. 2-0. I know I'm saying I'm not super confident in it, but maybe I should be. We'll just crack the bauble right now. Get our card draw. Oops. It's trying to target his library with Mishra's bauble. Okay, opponent on blue-black control, probably. I love this card. I feel like it's really good. The 2/3 that comes in and loots, but then also sometimes has menace. It is a 3/3, so really good 2-drop. But, and there is a but here, I feel like blue-black isn't winning games with this kind of creature. They're winning games by controlling and countering and board wiping, and it just doesn't fit the theme. We're happy that opponent milled us, even though we lost a good card there. We got a Clay Revenant into the graveyard. And we care about cards in graveyard. So, first thing first. Perimeter Patrol. We're in no hurry to show opponent our premium stuff. No hurry to Overwhelming Remorse one of his little creatures. If opponent built his deck well, he's surely playing some Trench Stalkers. 4 or 5. That's a good target for the Overwhelming Remorse. You don't want to be in a hurry when you're playing any game, but especially in Limited. Because if you use your removal on these little dorky guys, and then you don't have any removal for their big creatures, that can lead to losing a lot of games. And in Limited, the removal is so much more limited that it's much more valuable. So you gotta play a little slow, a little bit more patient. I'm fine with trading with the Synthesis here. I lose Patrol, he loses the Synthesis, it's fine. It's one of those trades where both parties is happy, but I'm especially happy because I have 3 creatures in my graveyard now. I haven't taken one out of the graveyard, but it'll be back in there soon enough. That's a turn where I just don't have anything that I feel I should be doing. I'm not like... I don't want to cast any removal, which I have 2 of, and those are my only options, so at least I'm being mana efficient, getting a Clay Revenant out of the graveyard and back into play. That's a good card. Now that is a target that I'm happy to kill with Power Stone Fracture. So we're gonna fracture that and sack that. You could sack it in response, but it doesn't do much. Um, we'll end the turn with Overwhelming Remorse up, and if opponent doesn't give us a juicy target, we'll go get Clay Revenant with our 3 floating mana. Well, not floating, but 3 untapped mana. Opponent getting impatient. He's gonna trade his 1/1 for my 1/1. Oh, he's not. Okay, now I'm gonna Overwhelming Remorse him. He's got no blue mana up, so I know the shields are down. If this resolves, he draws a card. His guy lives and my guy dies. So I don't care about my guy dying, but I care about not letting him draw a card. So that feels like a overall big win. Next, we're gonna slam the Courser, get in for 1, and cross our fingers. Opponent doesn't have some nice removal for the Courser. There's the Trench Stalker I wish I saved my removal for. He blocks and they bounce. No big deal. At least we have stuff to do. Play out another land. Alright. A little scary against blue-black that he's on 19 at turn 7 or 8. But our board state is pretty comfortable. And we do have 2 Clay Revenants we could keep reoccurring. And card advantage from the Courser. Just block like this. Protect our life total since we are at 14. Don't really want to be going to 10 for nothing. Now we are terrified. Terrified. I foolishly protected my life total when I should have double blocked that thing and gotten it out of play. And this is still not even big enough to attack. Brutal, man. What a bomb. Last game was Sunderer Titan. This game it's Wormcoil Engine. We've already played our Overwhelming Remorse. Means there's Power Stone Fracture. I could get rid of that. The Gopher Throats don't hit it because it's an artifact. So there's only 2 draws that we really want here. Power Stone Fracture or Diabolic Intent. So we could go search for Power Stone Fracture. At least we could double block the thing if he does attack. This is going to be a tough game. Oh, really tough game. You just pass the turn, right? Nothing to do. Our fate is in the hands of the top of our deck. We could only pray. Please, Lord of Limited Magic. Wormcoil Engine. Man, darn you, opponent. Like, literally anyone that opens this card in any pack, at any point, doesn't matter what deck you're playing, is like, yep, this is one in my deck. Any deck. Nice. Opponent should have attacked with both there, I think. Maybe I should actually block, like, this. Well, I only lose one thing. Or, I lose these Clay Revenants. But that's fine, right? I think that's fine. Maybe I should keep the Patrol and block with the Harvester instead. Since the Patrol lines up well against these 2 creatures. I'll do this. And what's nice is I have the mana on his turn to bring both Revenants back to my hand. Darn. It's a good card. It's gonna start growing, getting out of hand. Oh, man. Go for throat. Not the premium removal we wanted. We're gonna play the Astronaut Harvester just so that the perimeter patrol grows to 6 so he can attack, and so that the Harvester exiles a creature from his graveyard to knock the Skull Flare down. That's really good blocks for us. We're happy to see that. Yeah, he should just take 6. That makes way more sense. Opponent gains 6 life. We lose our 3 creatures in graveyard. Still probably the highest upside play we could have made. Mega Mole. The opponent's deck is the right deck for Evangel of Synthesis. At the beginning I was saying that it doesn't really fit in blue-black control, but opponent's not playing blue-black control, he's playing blue-black creatures. He has tons of creatures. "12 creatures so far that we've seen. Can't do anything about that. Take it. Kill his own Acrobat. Okay. We'll just hold Go for Throat until we have a really good opportunity to use it. I think our hope of winning here is milling opponent. I don't think we have any other options. He's at 11 cards left in the library. It's 11 turns away. I don't think we could survive for 11. Although we may be able to. Well, it'd be good if he started putting more cards in his hand. This is a long game. Feels like a long game anyways. I don't know how long it's been. 13 minutes. I guess 13 minutes is reasonable for a game of Limited. Well, we'll block the Worm Coil Engine here. We can't really afford to take 6 every turn. The Lifelink Worm and the Death Touch Worm. These tokens. Alright, we're gonna attack and draw. Now that he doesn't have just a very obvious good block. Block with both. Come on. Ah. Does not block with both. It doesn't even matter. We can't go for throw them because they're artifacts. So we'll Rager first. We'll see what we draw. Make our decisions with as much information as we can. Powerstone Fracture, nice. Okay, so we'll infiltrate, or sorry, Skull Flare. And then we'll fracture away the Skull Flare since it's the most likely to keep growing. And sucks we don't have our mana for Go for Throat anymore. We're gonna take some damage next turn for sure. One's just gonna swing out at us. But we are dangerously close to stabilizing. Dangerously close. Oh, 9 cards in his library. Come on, opponent, figure it out. Attack with all. Ah, there you go. Good game. Can't win them all. You could say that my deck didn't perform well, but you could also say that opponent just slammed a Worm Coil Engine, which just wins. I'm gonna leave the deck alone. I know I mentioned maybe changing it around, but I don't feel like that was my deck's fault that we lost that one. The opponent slammed an absolute bomb. A bomb of limited Worm Coil Engine. Jesus. How do you beat that? There's Go for Throat. And an Infiltrator. And we're on the draw. Don't love keeping 2 lands, but on the draw I think it's okay. Especially when you have things to cast. Stalwart. Ah, Bushwhack. Well, at least it's a land. It's not a green land. Oh man, this is reminiscent of that one game when I didn't draw any green lands for like 10 turns. I had like 22 cards left in library and I had like 7 swamps in play. What the heck was that? Simic. Okay, so the Simic archetype is big enchantments. And this is ramp, so he's on theme for that. And then our theme that we got going on is sacrifice and artifacts. That's weird. Counterspell? Nice. Darn you, opponent. Darn you. Oh. We don't match up well. We'll just play this Harvester to trade with whatever. We'll pass. We want to leave up Overwhelming Remorse for when he does play something big, which is just an eventuality. Simic Artifacts cares about 6 CMC or more. So you gotta assume there's gonna be Rust Goliaths, whatever else. Big and nasty. Double trade. Can't be taking 6 damage for free. Especially if I'm not going to draw any green mana and be stuck doing nothing for the next few turns. Gaia's Gift here. That would be strong. There's his command. Okay. So he made a Power Stone and gave my things -2 until end of turn. It's a blowout. That was a blowout. I think we could stabilize though. Draw a card. Diabolic Intent. Okay. I'd like a Clay Revenant to sack to that. Don't want to be sacking anything valuable. We could attack with Ashnod's Harvester and then sack it. Scrapwork Rager doing work here. Making the Honor Guard not attack. And that is a 6-mana creature. So how do we do this the best? We have 5 mana to play with. Could just play a Perimeter Patrol and leave up Overwhelming Remorse. Get his War Plow as late as possible. Let's just hang in there. Opponent did play 1 counterspell on me already. Maybe I should have just killed the War Plow when I could. Oh, excuse me. Okay. Let's see if this resolves. First things first. Good. Back that resolves. Makes me feel comfortable to block like this. Be fine with drawing a land here. Oh. Okay, tap surveil 1. Creatures you control have Vig and tap to surveil 1. Cool. I wanted to draw a land so that I could play Scrapbook Rager, attack, sack it, but that's all out the window because the longer that's in play, the more he gets to surveil essentially for free. So we're not ever letting him do that. So we have to kill it now. And for a ton of mana, what is it he could do? Wow. It costs 8 mana and he needs 2 white, but he can return any number of artifacts. Basically any number of artifacts, which he has none of. The one he had we exiled, so we are actually okay. So now, Scrapbook Rager, unearth, draw a card. Great draw. Attack, both. And post-combat, we're going to sack our Rager to go and search for well, we have a Courser, but opponent could kill it, and then slamming a second one is the best. I think this is the best card in our deck. Doesn't matter that we already have one in hand. Our graveyard is online, so it is incredibly valuable. Even the Skull Flare really proving his worth right now. I'll do this. I'm fine if he blocks with the Stalwart. Get rid of this creature. Just in case he somehow slams another white mana. Destroy target permanent. That's really good for us. He used his removal spell that he could just barely afford on the Skull Flare, which is a good creature, don't get me wrong, especially when it had 2 counters on it. But now that he sees this, he's gonna roll his eyes and go, ah, I wish I killed that instead. Battery Bearer. That's good. Might be too late, though. We're not going to let him untap with it. We'll kill it now. And we say good game as we slam the second Gaia's Courser, and he goes, yeah, it'll be over. And that's not a bad manner in good game. That's like a, you know, I really don't believe there's any cards that can come back from this type of good game. Draw, draw. And the deck did its thing. Kind of grindy, you know, it has long games. Long games every time, but good games nonetheless. Maybe I'm just saying that because I'm winning. What makes a game good? This is the point in the draft you always want to get to. Because at 2 wins, you get 250 gems in 2 packs. But then with 1 more win, you get 1,000 gems, so makes you happy. At this point, I could lose and be like, I didn't lose that much. Would I pay 1,500 gems? Down 500. Not the end of the world. But alas, we continue with the deck in its original form. Our sideboard is stacked though. Like we do have two more Killzone Acrobats and 1 Power Stone Fracture. Those are strong cards. 4 lands is pretty heavy, but I don't like to mulligan. We got both our colors. We got a 2-drop. Things could be worse, although we did draw a swamp on our first draw. And then a forest on our next draw. We offer the trade first. Okay, we see what opponent does. He says he's down. We're good for that, because opponent is probably a lot faster than us, being red-green. So anytime he wants to trade, we're cool with that for sure. Alright. Good draw. Strong card. So we're gonna attack with the Harvester. And then Power Stone Fracture it. That might not be the best play. Maybe I'll just attack with the Harvester. Exiles 1 creature. Doesn't trade because that thing's dying. I could just Power Stone Fracture it. This thing is dying anyways. And I just don't want to get ran over. So he gets a 1/1 and I wasted a... Well, kind of wasted a premium removal spell on a threat that wasn't that threatening. But I was mana efficient. And I just don't want to get ran over. I'm glad I did it. Cohort isn't any better of a target for Power Stone Fracture. Now, the Courser with no cards in graveyard is obviously a lot worse, but it's still a 4/5, which matches up really well. Opponent hits a land, he could play the 5 mana, or the 5 mana, deal 5 damage to a creature, and 2 to the face. He has the double red for it. I forget what it's called, but it's a pretty good card. I'd play 1 or 2 of them in a Gruul deck. You kind of have to, because otherwise when opponent slams a 5 toughness creature, you're just sitting there like, done, right? Maybe that's the position he's in. We'll just slam the second one. Pass the turn. Or we attack. No. He could triple block. And do 5 damage to the Courser. And then he could recur the Cohort at a later point to get another 1/1. It's not worth it. We just chill and wait until we draw Clay Revenants and Diabolic Tutors and... Oh wait, Diabolic Intent, I mean. And whatever else we have to trade with opponent. Phyrexian Rager. Karn's Liberator. We haven't even seen that card once in our hand. We saw it get milled once. Kind of weird, eh? Playing 4 or 5 games at this point and never seeing our pack one pick one. Not that it's any good in our deck. Well, that's a bomb. I can't afford to block that. I'll lose my board. And that's another Gopher Throat. Look at us drawing multiple Gopher Throats against all artifacts. That's a thing that can happen, although it won't happen often. Mishra's Commando is good. Deal 5 damage to the thing and give him +5. It got him in for 8 damage and killed a thing. Alright. I'm sure that sooner or later our deck is going to draw some good cards. All we have to do is be patient. We'll get there. It's a good card. I think I have to kill it before it untaps, because otherwise he just filters away all of his lands and gets better draws. Can't let that happen. Doo-doo-doo. What's next? You know how people say, what would Jesus do? Sometimes in these positions I ask myself, what would LSV do? LSV probably wouldn't have ever drafted such a bad deck. Ah, that sucks. I wonder again, what would LSV do? Would he use a second Gopher the Throat on the Prodigy? Would he use 2 Prodigies or 2 Gopher Throats to kill one thing? Ah, what would LSV do? Would he scoop or would he wait? Let's be real, he would wait. LSV, absolute legend. Not giving any opponents free wins. He's in the business of winning, that man. Of winning and of eating burritos. For those of you who don't know, LSV is Luis Scott Vargas, one of the all-time great Magic Hall of Famers. Deck giving us just enough cards to stay alive. Brutal. We could still do this. It's not an easy road to victory, especially not drawing horribly every single turn. It's just the way of the road, Rick. Just the way she goes, bub. Bubs. Wowie wowie. When he enters from your graveyard, so he has to be reanimated. Return from your graveyard to the battlefield, gains haste. Just take 3. Alright, that's a good draw. Alright, we kill the double striker. Get rid of that guy. Put this guy back into play. Then, next turn, he unearths the cohort, makes a 1/1, attacks with 2 3/1s. Maybe I should have blocked the 3/1 last turn with the patrol. I'd be at 11. Be at 11 and he'd have a 3/1 less. It just feels like the patrol's doing good work by keeping the 1/1s back. Doing the work of the Lord. Oh, good game. Oh wait, this thing's dead? Where's his hand? Draws 3 cards, yeah. Oof. Ooh la la. We'll see what's on the top of our deck just for the sake of seeing it, but it is pretty over here. Good game. Alright, well, we'll be back. Okay, part 3 of the video here, we are going to hard change our deck. And we're going to start by bringing in everything that's good that synergizes with sacrifice things. Power Stone Fracture, 2 Killzone Acrobats, Demon, and that looks like it. And we're going to take out things that synergize with the artifacts. The Battle Thopter, the Foundry Inspector. Fabric Rager is just good, even though it's an artifact, doesn't matter. It's just too good. Mishra's Bauble, 0 mana, sacks itself, so that's also good. What else do we want to bring in? Anything at all? I like this Trench Stalker. It's a good creature. But that's okay. We don't need it. Get rid of this Harvester since our 2-drop slot has got tons of them in there. And creatures with Unearth don't work well with graveyard synergies. Make this the king of our deck now. And we've got to cut one more thing. We need both Clay Revenants for sure. We'll cut... Perimeter Patrol, synergize with artifacts. Maybe we could even cut another one of these. And see if there's anything else we'd rather bring in. Guy's Gift. I think 14 creatures now. 14 creatures is not ideal with the graveyard synergies. Maybe we'll play a Wasteful Harvest. Mill 5 cards, return a permanent. So it could always get a creature, it fills our graveyard. I think it's good. This deck is very different than the last deck we played for the last few matches. We'll see how it works out. I'm pretty sure that they're good changes. It sucks that we played all those matches and never drew Karn's Liberator once, so we don't actually know if the card was good in the deck, if it you know, could have done a thing. It's never got the opportunity to do a thing. I acknowledge this hand being slow, but I mean, come on, I got 3 removal spells, so I'm not mulling this. Good draw, very good draw. Any 2-drop creature. It's a good draw on turn 2. Airlift Chaplain, okay. No planes. Planes or creature, right, okay. The Prowess Dwarf. His ward is pay 2 life. We'll just play out an Acrobat and pass. That is a beautiful target. Gonna kill that next turn. Happily. See you later, Jim. We'll get in for 5. We will not sack our Infiltrator. Then we have Gopher Throat up still. Scrapwork Cohort. Damn. Card is amazing, man. Alright, we hate to do this. It really sucks to sack a good creature, but I feel like pressure's on. Gixian Infiltrator desperately needs a counter on him, because otherwise the 1/1 matches up too well against the 2-1. But like this, we get in for 6, opponent goes to 9. And it just feels like we're in a position where we have to win fast or lose. So it is what it is. Of course, Go for Throat doesn't hit the cohort or the tokens it makes, so I had to use the Power Stone Fracture. Airlift Chaplain. Does he decline? No, he wants the planes. That makes sense. Okay. I think I'm in the same position here. I don't like the sack the thing, but I have to sack the thing that's good. Give my guy flying, give the infiltrator another counter, and hopefully opponent does some good blocks for him, and then I blow him out. Yeah, that's all I could do. So my guy lives. It's funny because opponents on Boros, which is traditionally very aggressive, and Golgari is traditionally very grindy, and yet I'm aggroing him out, and he is recurring stuff and milling cards and, you know, putting them back into his hand. Unearth. Got all kinds of good grindy cards. Ay, ay, ay. Where are you, Clay Revenants? Well, well, well. Not looking good for us here. Only got 3 scrapboard cohorts. Whoever was sitting at his draft table was not playing white. I took a couple of these and I wasn't even playing white. Whatever. Drew a couple extra lands. It's not like we're getting flooded, we're just not drawing the best cards. I think we're in survival mode now. Unfortunately, can't just sit around and take 4 damage for nothing. Good shit, man. Good shit. Ah, one turn too late. That's such a shame. It's such a shame that we drew it in that order. As if I had known I could have played differently, not blocked. Got 2 more counters on the infiltrator, left him up as a blocker, and had the exact same turn. Oh, of course, Rock Hunter has reach anyways. It was a great game. Too bad. I feel like our first version of the deck overperformed, doing really well. And then our second version of the deck was much stronger, but only got 1 game, and it was a loss. And it was tragically underperformed. It is what it is. Let's claim our prizes and open them up. 1,000 gems, we like that. See what we got in here today. Oh, yay. These are good cards. This one is anyways. And let's see what's in this Innistrad booster. The Celestis. Not really a control player, but decent. And plus we got our vault completed. Overall, fun little draft. Let this be a lesson to not split your archetypes. Tunnel into one thing and do that one thing well. You know, it's like that commercial. Do one thing really, really well. Thanks a lot for watching, guys. Take it easy.